time now to get an industry mood check with none other than Adi Godrej, Chairman of Godrej Industries and former President CII. I spoke with him earlier. Mr. Godrej, we've seen some positive developments over the last 2 weeks that have led to the rupee appreciating. At the same time, concerns remain. Is it too early to say that the worst is over?
No, I'm pretty sure that the worst is over. I think 2 or 3 good developments. One is the policy enunciations by the new governor of the Reserve Bank, Raghuram Rajan, have been very good. I think the Reserve Bank is also clear that the rupee needs to be defended, that it has depreciated far too much. So I hope they continue on that path, because that is very important to be able to contain inflation and the fiscal deficit. And thirdly, the monsoon has turned out to be excellent. Agricultural output should be very good. Agricultural growth should add to GDP growth, and there will be a multiplier effect on both industrial and services growth. So I expect the worst is over, and I expect growth in the second half will be very good, so that the annual growth rate could also be better than last year.
Mr. Godrej, should now talk about the industry's expectations from Raghuram Rajan and the credit policy. Particularly, inflation continues to remain a big headache for the central bank. At the same time, industry leaders believe the new governor will be more pro-growth and will cut rates at some point to give growth a chance. But given inflation levels right now, is it too soon for India Inc. to start asking him to cut rates?
I don't expect any major rate cutting in the next policy, but now Dr. Rajan has also clearly stated that he won't be constrained by quarterly policy decisions. He will be able to take decisions in between. So I expect by October, November, once growth starts to take off, and with the good agricultural produce, I think inflation will also come down. If the rupee depreciation is curtailed, that will also help in keeping inflation under control. I think we can see interest rate reduction there onwards.
In fact, talking about the rupee and the outlook for the currency going forward, at what levels do you see it stabilizing?
Well, the rupee depreciation, when it got to about 55 or 57, was to be expected, because you have to take into account the differential inflation between India and the US. We have also to take into account productivity differences. If you take all that into account, I think the rupee at a 55 or 57 level is reasonable. But the depreciation thereafter was extremely rapid, uncontrolled, and that was fueled by speculation. Huge speculation took place, especially outside the country, and that led to a very precipitous depreciation of the rupee. I believe the RBI should have intervened, supplied dollars into the market to break the backs of the speculators. I think unfortunately it was done far too late, only after Dr. Rajan came into the picture, and even with a little bit of dollar supply, the RBI has been able to contain the rupee depreciation. Now it is important that it further appreciates to the level of somewhere between 55 and 60. I think that would be an appropriate level for the rupee, and that could help the economy, the macroeconomic situation in many ways.
Right, staying with the role of the Reserve Bank, a lot of debate on whether RBI and its single-minded focus on containing inflation actually sacrificed growth. Was there an overreaction to inflation, and how much would you attribute India's slowdown to high interest rates?
I think that clearly was a major deterrent to growth. I think we should be clear that in the present circumstances, monetary tightening doesn't control inflation well. In fact, the RBI was not able to control inflation very well. Inflation is as a result of global commodity prices going up, which, because of our large exports and imports, both sides, we get affected in terms of prices of commodities, and monetary tightening didn't seem to help very much. So I think it was a wrong prescription for inflation. I think inflation could have been contained much better had we in fact concentrated on growth, because growth would have led to larger supplies, and that in turn could have controlled inflation.
Moving on now from what the Reserve Bank can do to what New Delhi really needs to do, concerns that with elections round the corner, tough economic decisions like cutting subsidies won't get pushed through, with populist moves like the food security bill actually adding to India's economic worries. Do all these things really concern you, worry you?
No, not particularly, because I think the government is determined to take through some of the good economic steps. As far as the food security bill is concerned, I think with the right implementation using Aadhaar cards, etc., the cost of implementation could be cut down. In my mind, if we can get the goods and services tax constitutional amendment passed early, and if the main implementation of the food security bill follows that, I think that could contain any fiscal deficit problem the food security bill might create. Of course, we must realize that the food security bill, if properly implemented, could be beneficial to the extent that the low-income population, particularly in rural areas, would have more to spend on other things, which would create a demand for other goods such as fast-moving consumer goods, consumer durables, etc., which could in fact help sustain growth. So I think with proper planning, we could see to it that we get back into a strong growth mode from the second half of this year through the agricultural benefits and later on through the goods and services tax.
Mr. Godrej, what's the overall industry mood right now? You clearly certainly sound more positive than you have been in a very, very long time.
No, I think the industry mood has certainly turned for the better. I think several people have spoken about it also in the recent past. So I think over the last week or so, the industry mood has turned much more positive, and I think it will continue to remain positive over the next few months.
All right, last question before we wrap up. Political temperature is clearly rising. Mr. Modi has been named the BJP's prime ministerial candidate. What are the industry's concerns in the run-up to 2014?
The only political situation I'm concerned about is if too many of the seats go to the third front, and if the major parties get a fair number of seats, and if the major parties, either of them could form a government, I think we could see stability in the country. Economic environment could improve. I'm a little concerned if too many seats go to the smaller parties, the state parties, because they generally pay less attention to national economic issues than they do to the particular issues in their own states.
All right, Mr. Godrej, many thanks for joining us and sharing your thoughts. It's great to see industry leaders finally sounding at least a little positive. And with that, it's a wrap here on Rebooting India. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.